welcome. My name is Lisa and I am the maker behind Sweet Paper Studios. I'm so excited to do my first live crafting session on this page. And as people start to jump on, I'm just going to do a quick share over on my laptop. Make sure that we're up and running. If you are joining me, please say hello so we can chat. I love interacting as I'm doing my crafting sessions, so please let me know you're here. And let me just make sure that we're on, because there we go. We are on. Yeah, so my name is Lisa and I am the owner of Sweet Paper Studios. I sell handmade cards and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada. I've been doing it for almost 3 years now, and if you've been following me a little bit, you know that I used to be the Stampin' Girl, and I used to have a Stampin' Girl blog and Instagram and Facebook page, but I have amalgamated that with my Sweet Paper business. So this is my first live crafting session on my Sweet Paper page, so I'm really excited. I am just going to give this a quick share, as I said. Share it on my personal Facebook page. All right. And there we go. So hopefully we have people joining. So if you do join, please let me know where you're from. Let me know that you're here. I'm going to follow along on my laptop, as I said, so I'd like to interact with you as I'm live. And one new thing that I want to do is, if you share this video as we're live crafting together, you're going to be entered for one of my draws for a special prize. So if you can give that a share. If you're new to this page and you're just finding me through the live feed, be sure to like my page. You can also find me on YouTube, where I post video tutorials, so at Sweet Paper Studios, and on Instagram at Sweet Paper Studios as well. Before we get started crafting, ignore this mess behind me. I went to a friend's house to craft, and I brought most of my stuff with me, so it's just messy and I haven't put it away yet. But before we get started, I wanted to just highlight a couple of events that I have upcoming. The first one is Friday, August 17th. I'm having my Cocktails and Cards class. It's, as the name implies, we're going to make some cards and sip some cocktails. It's a super fun night. In this case, we're going to do 2 cards and a home decor piece, which will be a framed art piece, that I'm super excited about that. The second one is my Stamparatus technique class. So Stamparatus is Stampin' Up's new tool. If you've heard of a MISTI, it's kind of like that. And I will show you how to use it, and we'll create some templates so you can create the perfect wreath with that as well. And my last event that I have is my brand new one-day event. It's called the Sweet Stampin' Craft Day. It's an all-day crafting retreat. So your registration includes an all-day event. All your food will be provided. You'll get a welcome gift from me, and it's going to be super fun. It's the chance for you to bring your craft projects and get them all done. You'll have access to my tools and other stuff, and we're going to have some giveaways and some prizes, and it's going to be an awesome day. So you can find more information on that on my Facebook page. Okay, so excuse me. Let's get started. So let's get crafting. I have my setup a little bit different right now, so I am going to be switching the camera around, so maybe just a little bit shaky before we get started. Let's do that. Hopefully not too shaky. There we go. Oh, you just got a shot of my hand. Hopefully I don't lose you guys as I'm doing this. Oh. I think we're good. I'll just move you up a tiny bit. There we go. Oh, that was smoother than I thought. All right. So as I said, if you're just joining me, I see 2 people are joining me. Say hello. I'd love to follow along and chat with you as you are here. For some reason my computer screen is sort of black, so hopefully I could see your comments as they come up. So we're going to be using these two stamp sets, and we're going to be creating this super pretty card. It's so cute, guys. I did this card as a swap card that I recently participated in. It was a Canada-wide swap, and I came up with this one using new Stampin' Up! Product. In this case, I used the Wonderful Moments stamp set, which is currently probably my favorite, because they finally have a pregnant woman and they have this beautiful bride, and some beautiful sentiments. And I'll just show you this card quickly that I made with the bride recently. I posted on Instagram earlier, so if you saw that, this is the card that I created with that bride. Isn't that gorgeous? And you can see that I've used the new delightfully detailed laser cut paper as well. Just so pretty. Let me just improve some lighting here. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. And I also use the Twinkle Twinkle set. If you follow along with me, you know that I love doing baby cards and baby shower cards. And this set is no exception. It's so cute. It doesn't look like much, but the cards you can create with it's just unbelievable. So we are using one stamp from this set, which is this one right here. And we are using the pregnant woman from here, as well as the sentiment Dream Come True. We are using a couple of pieces of the Twinkle Twinkle designer series paper, which is this. It's double-sided paper, so you can see that there's cute little patterns. Very lovely. I love this one. It's very nice. So we're going to be doing that and with some other supplies. So we'll get started. Excuse me. I'm just getting over a little bit of a cold, so appreciate you bearing with me. And try not to cough too much while we're working. Just trying to make sure that the lighting is all right here. Hopefully it's all right. I think it is. So I'll move these out of the way, and I'll just keep this over in the corner so you can see that. Now I am using a piece of powder pink cardstock. This is 5.5 by 8.5 inches. And we're just going to go ahead and fold that in half. Hi Jen! I can see Jen just popped on. Let me know if you can see this okay. I'm going to use my bone folder to just crisp the edges, because I always like a nice, clean, crisp fold when I make my cards. So I use my bone folder for that. And then you're ready to basically start adding some elements to that. So I am using Versamark ink pad here. And this is good for embossing or adding glitter, but it's also good just to add a tone on tone. So you can see this here, this stamped image here is just done with Versamark. Basically, it just creates a darker tone of the color that is on the base. So I've already got my stamp and ready on my D block. So I'll just go ahead and stamp that. And I'm just doing sort of random marks in the corner. Oh, that didn't show up very well. Can you guys see that? Jen, can you see that? It's not working very well, is it? Maybe what I'll do is pick a different color. And I'll just grab that really quickly. And I will actually just use my powder pink ink instead. So I'll do that. There we go. This is probably going to be better. So I'll just do a random stamp in the corner. There we go. Oh, maybe I didn't use Versamark to begin with. Oh gosh. So if you, another tip is if you're trying to stamp in the background, you can sort of place where you're going to put your paper and just place it around it. Use it as a stamping guide, a template, and then you'll be able to know where you should stamp or not to stamp, but you could just go around and doing that. A couple more, and I'll do some up in the corner here, and I'll just do a check. There we go. Very simple first layer. And I'll go ahead and clean off my stamp with our new chamois. If you haven't seen this, this is Stampin' Up's new chamois. Goodbye inky fingers and inky hands. Look how well that took off the ink. And I'll show you again once we use the blue ink, but it cleans your stamp so nicely. And no more buying baby wipes because this does a fantastic job. If you are here, please say hello. I don't know if I can, don't know if my comments is working on my laptop because it's all black in the background. So maybe Jen, if you can just say hello, just so I could see if anything pops up. I could see you on my phone, but not on my laptop. There you go. Okay. Okay, so if you are joining, thank you for joining. As I said, if you want to win a little prize, one thing I am doing is if you share this video, you can win a little something from me. So I appreciate you sharing the video as we go ahead and make the card. So after that stamping is done, I'm just going to go ahead actually with my snail adhesive, and I'm just going to put that on the card and start building the layers. Snail adhesive is my adhesive of choice because it's very forgiving, and if you happen to put down your paper or cardstock in the wrong place, it's very easy to lift up and reposition. So that's why I like it. And our second layer is going to go on just like that. So this actual piece of Designer Series paper is 4 1/4 by 3 1/4 inch, and this one here is 4 inches by 3 inches, and that's just going to go on top. Just like that. You want to center it as much as possible, but you still want the other cardstock peeking through. Just like that. And already it's looking so pretty, and it's been super simple to do. Okay, next we're going to be using some of our colored doilies, and I'll show you what these look like. It comes in 4 different colors, as you can see. I believe this is Old Olive, Coastal Cabana, Flirty Flamingo, and Grapefruit Grove. And as you can tell, there's no color on this. But what's fantastic about these is that they're white on the back. So we're actually just going to use the back of one, so we can have a pretty white doily there. And with that, I do have my grid paper, so I'm just gonna, off in the corner here, put some adhesive down. And I do it in the corner because, you know, you do have these gaps, you will get a little bit of adhesive there, and you don't want it on your card, so you just do it off to the side or on a separate piece of scrap paper. So then you're just gonna center this in the blue pattern cardstock, and you don't have to put adhesive all the way around. You just need some in the middle. Okay, now I'm going to put that off to the side, and now we're going to cut out our oval shape, this shape here, and I used the Stitch Shapes framelits. So these are amazing framelits. I have them on this frame on a magnetic sheet because I use them often, so I like to have them handy. So if you're using dies quite frequently, put them on in a frame on a magnetic sheet, and that way I can just hang them up or lean them against my wall and I can just grab them when I need to. So you do need a big shot with these, and I'm going to use the biggest oval shape. And I have my scrap white piece of paper, and then I'm going to bring over my big shot to do some die cutting. Thanks, Jen. Now I see there are 3 people watching, so let me know that you're here. So if you're not familiar with the Big Shot, this is Stampin' Up's cutting tool. It is like a must-have for every crafter as far as I'm concerned. It is a pretty amazing tool. It allows you to cut out dies and everything, and I am using the magnetic platform with this. I just think that helps the dies stay in place. And you're going to sandwich the die in your cardstock in between the 2 plates. As you can see, I've used this quite often. I've got all the die marks on it. I do have a new set, but I haven't opened them yet. And then you're really just going to pump that through. You don't want to give that a nice hold. I'll move that out of the way. And then with that, you get a nice cutout of your die cut. Carefully remove that. And I love the stitch shaped framelits because you just get this nice detail on the edge. Hopefully you could see that, but you just get this nice stitched frame. It's so pretty, and I think it adds a little something to cards, and I use these all the time. Okay, now we're gonna use this beautiful bride stamp and our Night of Navy ink, one of my most used ink colors. Navy and blush pink go so well together, and I just love this color combo. Just gonna want to stamp that, make sure it's nice and wet, and then you're gonna stamp her off a little bit to the side because you need room for the sentiment. Just about right there. You're gonna give her a nice firm press, and then you get that nice clean image. And then I don't want my ink to dry out, so I'm gonna take my chamois and wipe her clean with this chamois. And the great thing about this too is that you can just press it into your nooks and crannies in your stamp, and then she's all clean. And look, no ink on my fingers. Maybe a tiny, tiny bit. Excuse me. And while we have the ink out, we are going to stamp the sentiment, which is dream come true, because we all know that having a baby is a dream come true for a lot of people. So we're just gonna put that sentiment right next to her. There we go. So nice. And then we're done using the ink for this card. I'm just gonna give that a quick wipe. As I said, if you share this post, you have a chance to win a little something from me. So if you can go ahead and share this video, that would be great. Now, normally I would wait a little bit for her to dry just a little bit longer before I color her in, but in the interest of timing, we'll start coloring her in. And for that, I'm gonna use the watercolor pencils. The watercolor pencils are one of my favorite coloring tools. You've got these great colors. These colors here, they work really well. You use them with the Aqua Painter. And what's great is actually Stampin' Up! Coming in August 1st has a new set of watercolor pencils of some of our new colors. I'm super excited about these because they have Cherry Cobbler and Garden Green. Those are my most used colors on my Christmas cards, so I'm so happy about that. So if you're new to watercolor pencils and the Aqua Painter, you will need a paper towel, and you just have to fill this with water. Or some people use like a little like rubbing alcohol, but I find water works really well. And I'm just going to use the color Melon Mambo, which is a nice bright pink, and I'm going to make her a blondie just like me. So I'm going to use Daffodil Delight. It's really just a pencil crayon. So I'm going to color her hair blonde. Okay. Just like that. Okay. And then I'm going to color her in, but I want to do a little bit of shading here. So, and I'm going to blend with the aqua brush. So I'm going to just do some dark shading along some of the lines and edges, just like that. And this is how I use the watercolor pencils for most items most images that I color. And then I'll just lightly add in some color in the rest of her, because I am going to blend this in. So just like that, really soft. Use a very soft hand to color in the rest. And actually, we need to color her in, so I am going to use the Calypso Coral watercolor pencil and just very lightly add some color to her face and to her arms and a little bit of her fingers. So if you look at that closely, you can see that it's just basically looks like someone colored it in with a pencil crayon. But we want to blend that in using our aqua brush. The brush is like a fine tip. It will get wet. Less is more when you work with this, I find. Jen, I can't see your full question. With the water brush pencils, I can't see your full question because my phone holder's in the way and it's not popping up on my video. I don't know why it's not working on my laptop. I'll see if I can go back to it and then answer your question, Jen, after. I know you're asking something about the watercolor pencils. Oh, okay, there you are. Choose, okay, Lisa, if the watercolor pencils you chose not to use the aqua painter, is that okay as well? So are you asking if the watercolor pencils not, okay, so you can use them just as regular pencil crayons if you want, or you can probably go grab a, hey Vanessa, or you can probably go grab, you know, some paintbrushes from the dollar store and use it with just like a jar of water, and sort of color in the same way. I find it's very easy when it's together. But I mean, you can use whatever tool you want, whatever is easiest for you. So as I said, less is more. So this is like, I'll probably add a tiny bit more. You just squeeze it and the water comes out at the end. So you can see, I don't know if you can see that, it's wetting my finger. You could probably see that. That is too much water for me. So I'm going to just dab the end off a bit, because you have to be careful as well, because the ink will bleed into your color. So I try not to actually get any water on the stamped image. I'll just do a very light hand sort of in between. So as you can see right in that spot there, I got a little bit of ink, but I'll try to just blend the color in very lightly in between the stamped pieces. Just like that. So I'm not sure how well this will show up on the video, but you could see already that her hair is blended in. It no longer looks like just a pencil crayon. Okay, this will show up way more when we do her dress, which we'll do now. And when I'm doing the dark pieces in with the light pieces. I like to do a circular motion because I want to blend the color in. So I'll just do a very light hand, and you could see the color starting to blend in and blend together. So you still get that shading, but the color is actually blending in. So, and if you find that your tip is too wet, just dab it off and go back in. And I just do circular motions just to get that. And I did use navy, the Night of Navy ink, so it's taking from that color, so you can see almost like a purple hue to her dress as well, which is okay because it's really pretty. So I like to blend the edges in first. Just like that, and then I'll sort of continue on with the circular motion. Just like that. And then you got this super pretty watercolored image. Look at that. Isn't that so pretty? It makes such a difference. It doesn't look like it's stamped at all. It looks like almost like it was hand painted, and that's pretty much what it is, right? So then to clean your brush, just squeeze a little bit of water out and wipe it with the towel, and then you're good to go with your next color. Super easy. People often get intimidated when watercoloring, but as you can see, it's very easy to do. You just have to sort of get used to it and play around with it a little bit. So I'll move those out of the way. So now we can go ahead and build the rest of our card. And normally if I do watercolor, I'll let her dry for a few minutes, but again, in the interest of timing, I just want to wrap that up because we all, got kids, or maybe they're putting the kids to bed, or maybe they're already in bed. But just in the interest of timing, we'll put this card together. Usually I give it 5 minutes, but I'll just do a little wave around and it's all right. Now, if you are doing a lot of watercolor, heavy watercolor, you do want to use watercolor paper, which I do have, but if I'm just doing a small image like this, I'll just use regular cardstock. Now, we're ready to put her on the front, and I am going ahead. I want to give her this a little bit of dimension, so I'm going to use our Stampin' Dimensionals. Now, don't be stingy with your dimensionals, okay? I put a good amount of dimensionals on it because if you were to mail this card and something gets pressed against it, if you didn't put anything in the middle there's a big chance that this piece will get squished down, and you don't want that to happen. You don't want any creases in there. And I want to, if I'm going to send this a card or give this a card to someone, I want it to be, in good shape. So, to avoid any creases or anything being sunk in, place a good amount of your dimensionals on there. That's what they're for. And they're easy to peel off, put on and peel off. So you're just going to put that in the center. Just like, I'm really picky, so I need to make sure that it's right in the center. There you go. Just give that a little press. You can see there's a little bit of dimension there. Okay. And then to finish off the card, I'm going to use my paper piercing tool and some rhinestone basic jewels, because rhinestones just make cards better and add some nice bling to it. So I'll just put 3 on there. Okay, and then you're done. It's really super easy. How do you guys like that? Isn't that so nice? So pretty. I love these cards. I love this set. As I said, share this video for a chance to win a special prize from me. I appreciate you guys sticking around and joining me tonight. If you're new to my page, please give me a like. You can also find me on Instagram and YouTube as Sweet Paper Studios. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will hopefully see you next Tuesday at 8:30 as well. Okay, bye!